Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Papyrus Motorsports Park for the NRSL Hankook Tyres V8 Supercar Challenge Season Finale. 3 drivers, Dillon Young, DJ Kurtis, and Rob Evans, will fight for championship here today, and I'm joined by my man, Vince Freeze.
It's the final countdown as we see Fitzwater on pole. Papyrus, we've seen in practice, has produced incredible speeds. I think we're going to talk about with the gear ratio a little bit later, and we're definitely going to see some strategy and a wild first lap. Everyone's starting towards the back, equidistance from Evans 14th, Kurtis 17th, Young 20th. Let's get it on.
Yes, indeed. All 3 championship competitors starting outside the top 10. We'll get to scenarios in a moment, but let's get to your starting lineup. Fitzwater on the pole with Donovan Cage to his right side. Donovan Cage won here in the Jerky Pro Truck Series this past year. Carter Friesen, Jesse Turner, row 2. Andrew Rich, Johnny Gardner, row 3. Yael Carrillo, Henry Sanford, row 4, with Audra Baranowskis and Logan York in row 5. As we go through the rest of the running order. And yeah, so to put it simply, Dillon Young has to finish 5th or better if Kurtis were to win the race. And then as far as Evans goes, he must finish 6th or better. For Kurtis needs to win and have Young finish 6th or worse. And for Evans, as here's a command. Rob Evans must win the race, with Kurtis finishing 2nd or worse, so it doesn't really matter where Kurtis finishes if Evans wins. But D. Young must be 7th or worse. And then in terms of Dillon Young finishing last, Kurtis would have to finish 13th, because Kurtis would get on the tiebreaker, because Kurtis won back at Island Rally, I believe it was. Let's just double check that really quickly. Yes, indeed. And then Evans must finish 10th or better, due to the way the point system has been formatted. But all of them starting outside of the top 10. If we have a crash, it's probably going to be pretty bad, but no cautions, 22 laps. We're definitely expecting pit stops here today. And here we go. Green flag is out for the final time in the V8 Supercar Challenge. And Vince talked about the speeds. 5th gear tops out at about 215 miles an hour. So when you're in draft, 6th gear will be the way to go. Because it looks like they're actually going to hit 6th gear before the right-hander, Vince.
Yeah, they're definitely flying, but the top 3 are breaking away. Someone's way wide.
This will be a tricky left-hand corner. Andrew Rich gets a much better turn than Carrillo. Carrillo actually downshifted to 5th gear. We might see drivers drop to 5th gear with tire wear. But when it comes to draft, 6th gear is going to be the way to go. As Fitzwater is going to lead the first lap.
Is he looking for one last bang? Where is our championship contenders as we approach this 2nd lap?
Donovan Cage, 222 miles an hour. And there's Rob Evans, 14th at the start-finish line. When it gets a little tight, looks like maybe being on the right side of somebody in the left-hand corners is the way to go. You see Evans just appears to be really tight right now. But things not going well for Kurtis or Dillon Young. And Dillon Young has fallen to last place. 3 wide with Tringali and Deanna Jones. Not a good position to be in.
Young right now on River's Edge as the field flies here. So we see his overhead shot.
So Dillon Young in last, not having the day he needs to win this championship. Kurtis, though, not doing so much better. Kurtis 23rd at the line. Where is Rob Evans? He is currently 12th at the line. If Evans cracks into the top 10, he would have the points advantage over Dillon Young if Young continues to run in 29th.
Question will be, like I said, will these guys try and undercut? Look at Evans fly through that corner.
See some tire marks. Looks like somebody got really loose in the right hand there before, but nobody has crashed out yet. See Evans getting tight there in the left-hand turn. Let's go up towards the front of the field, looking at the battle for the lead. Fitzwater lost it because of draft. It's Donovan Cage and Yael Carrillo, 1-2 at the front of the field.
This guy's just looking for one last bang like Fitzwater with the win. But draft will be key, I think, especially when you're this close in 225 miles per hour.
Logan York 5th, Friesen 4th. So not seeing the championship guys up near the front at all. Evans up to 9th place. And I believe with where he's running, Dillon Young in last. That has Evans as the championship leader right now, but it's only lap 4 of 22.
Long way to go here is Evans is on board with. Where is Kurtis? He needs to make some time up.
And Kurtis only had 4 points on Evans coming into this race. He's down in 25th. Kurtis and Dillon Young really struggling today. And that has opened the door for Rob Evans. See Young now 28th. Quentin Moore, who won the previous race at Cape Cod, has been making ground after starting in last. He's up to 21st. How about Samet Oskin? He's finished second in the previous 2 races. He runs in 12th place. So Evans 9th right now, as Cage, Carrillo, and Fitzwater are the top 3 breakaway from the field. Oh, and we had a crash. And it appears to have involved Nico Tringali and Alexander Rowe. I'm not sure if Dillon Young got a piece of that or not. He appears to be clean. But it was in the right-hand corner, Vince.
Replay. Well, this helps Dillon Young and Kurtis get some spots in the back. Not what Evans needed, but right now, I think Evans will have the championship lead. We keep it as is.
So Kurtis still struggling, now 24th because of the incident. And Dillon Young definitely free of damage. Still up to speed. As you see, Tringali is really slow. He is barely pushing over 190 miles an hour. And Tringali is going to be a lap car, I think, at the end of this race, and that's going to make things dangerous. Donovan Cage still leading, though, over Yael Carrillo. Fitzwater in 3rd. Logan York 4th. Friesen 5th. That's been the top 5 for a couple laps now, as Evans looking for position on Ellison, but he's going to get tight here. Downshift into 5th gear. Get those RPMs high again.
Behind him, though.
Oskin's going to go almost 3 wide for a moment there. So far, though, Evans with the title in hand. With where Dillon Young is running at the back of the field. right now, I mean, the focus is solely on Dillon Young because Kurtis only had 4 points over Evans coming into this race. Right now, with Rob Evans running in 7th, Dillon Young would need to be running 22nd or better to prevent Evans from winning this title.
As we saw him, he was in 27th, maybe looking for 26th. He needs some help here.
Oskin making a power move on Henry Sanford. That's for 8th. He'll take that position so easily. You see him starting to string out. This is where draft passes are going to get tricky, as they are going to go 4 wide. That's Quinton Moore, Jesse Turner, Keith Rich, and Seth Cole. And now Hamill's going to be 4 wide. Oh, man, Vince.
Yeah, these guys got great car control. 4 wide's nothing to these guys, it seems like.
We saw 4 wide in the Digital Storm Cup race this past year, and they crashed in that corner doing that. Kurtis down to 25th. Dillon Young still struggling, 27th. I think right now the only saving grace for Dillon Young is if the 8 car has a problem, as Hamill and Keith Rich almost made devastating contact. And that's a bit of an issue here for Dillon Young, being as far back as he is if anything happens, you are going to have to find the way around it. We're closing in on the halfway mark already, Vince.
Yeah, and the other thing, too, is the pit stops, right? We don't know what the pit window will be. Do you try an undercut here, or do you have to come in with cars that's rad? See, now Young is starting to get into that pack. He knows his go time. This is a big pack. If he can make 4 or 5 spots here.
Rob Evans up to 5th place there at the start-finish line. That lap by. And that moves it up to 17th for Dillon Young right now.
Makes a couple spots here. Just trying to maneuver through this pack.
Now there is a gap. There is a gap from 4th to 3rd, which now Evans is in 4th ahead of Logan York, but there's a gap to 3rd there from Fitzy. Cage, Carrillo, and Fitzy have, they're just gone. And Evans has to find something if he's going to close the gap. But Evans in 4th means Dillon Young must finish 14th or better right now.
Almost halfway. This is getting a little nervous from Dillon Young's crew. Do you try something different with strategy? This might be your only shot.
Right now, Evans is leading this draft line, so he is on the verge of getting eaten up, as he did not gain anything on Fitzwater that lap. He lost 2/10, in fact. But the top 3 are just chilling right now. I think, they're just trying to draft away and settle it out for themselves. Logan York looking to the left side of Rob Evans. Oh, that is such a move, to put in all the air on that rear wing by doing that.
Side draft action. Now, Evans will have a little bit of a run here, but I think York got him clear.
York will get 4th place. Here comes Henry Sanford now. So Evans back down to 5th. Moves it to 17th for Dillon Young. And Dillon was 25th at the line. Tringali has made his way down pit road and has avoided being a nuisance, but Dillon Young has now lost another position. He's back down to 26th, as Keith Rich has fallen down the running order. Kurtis, though, going nowhere in 22nd, as there's a gap from 19th to 20th. I'm not sure if something happened maybe with Keith Rich. I'm not sure, but that has really split up the pack, and that has hurt Dillon Young's chances tremendously. You can see it on the ticker, as Nate Rogers loses a ton of spots right there. But, it's 19th to 20th. is almost 2 seconds. So now Dillon Young needs something to go his way because Evans is right there in 5th still.
He needs Evans to fall back. This is only shot or some pit call.
Evans back up to 4th. York now down to 6th. As we're on the halfway lap, 11 laps complete here. As right now the fall off only about a second for the front runners. Donovan Cage showing that he knows his way around Papyrus after that Jerky Pro win. Vince.
That's it, right? It's the experience, especially with this place. If there's only being one right-hand turn, gotta know where to put that car. Cage has done the best. You know, we stepped away from that pit cycle, but right now I'd say Donovan Cage is the best car in clean air.
Henry Sanford's going to pass Evans for 4th. Here comes Zach Rogers out of nowhere. And he'll take 5th from Evans. Rogers won here in the Digital Storm Cup Series all the way back in 2017. And he did it from starting in last place.
It's noticing to me that if you're in 4th place, you're a sitting duck because Evans was in 4th and the draft just eats him alive. So I don't think you want to be in 4th coming to the line with plenty of time to go still with that pit stop.
Well, I'd say for sure, though, with this big pack of cars behind Evans, I definitely want to be leading this group into pit road because that's when strategy comes into play. And you start seeing things get split up as, here we go, pit stop. Zach Rogers stays out. DJ Kurtis stayed out. Everybody else is coming in pit road as somebody got run over. That was Nate Rogers, I believe, getting run over by Seth Cole. But so this is not what Dillon Young needed. He's losing a ton of time right here. But Kurtis stayed out. Vince trying to try something.
You gotta. I mean, I don't know what the overcut will do, but I think with the group of pack right here,
Ooh, strategy. Flickinger's taking left side tires only.
Who else is taking lefts only?
Several drivers taking lefts only. Dillon Young's going for a 4-tire strap. What is Rob Evans doing? Evans is already out and away. I'm not sure what he did. He's passing Fitzwater. I think Evans might have taken 2 tires.
Disaster for Dillon Young. Now this is all Evans to lose.
Will 2 tires be the right call? Carrillo comes out of pit road right on Donovan Cage's rear bumper. But so we saw Zach Rogers and DJ Kurtis stay out a lap. They'll come to pit road. There's Dillon Young. But so Young took 4 tires. We know that for a fact, but we saw several drivers take 2 tires only. So, you know, will the tire wear come into play with this draft or not is the real question, as right here at the start-finish line, it is 9 laps to go. And Kurtis will get what could be his only lap lead on the day. So Rogers doing a 4-tire pit stop. Kurtis going to do a 4-tire stop as well.
Here they come.
That's Tringali right there, lap down car. There's Zach Rogers. And there's the battle for the lead between Carrillo and Donovan Cage. So I talked about Tringali being in the way. This is what I was talking about.
Where's Evans? That's the biggest question. Where will Evans cycle out? I think he's in 4th.
Carrillo will take the lead from Cage. York 3rd. Evans 4th. Bumper full of Ellison and Henry Sanford. And I think Evans took 2, Vince, because he is under fire right now. Oh, yeah, for sure. 2-tire call by Evans' team might have been the wrong decision. Look at Zach Rogers with a huge run. Rogers has the freshest tires of the field.
Is Rob Evans choking this away? Where's Young? Where's that cutoff delta?
We'll have to see at the start-finish line where Rob Evans is running, but I'm believing with what I just saw in that left-hand turn that this man took 2 tires. He's running 8th. 8th place. Dillon Young must finish 24th or better.
Where's Young? Oh boy, it's getting close now.
And he's 24th right now.
We got a championship, boys.
Kurtis is 14th with 4 fresh tires. There's Dillon Young. I think the farthest Dillon Young will fall is 27th, considering Deaver is out of the draft.
Young.
Oh, look at Dillon Young slide the left rear right there.
Giving it everything he's got.
But Kurtis and Zach Rogers have the freshest set of tires on the track. We'll have to see if that does anything. We'll be coming to 7 to go this time by. And there's Zach Rogers right there to the right side of Rob Evans. Every position right now for Evans is 2 points, and 2 more positions Dillon Young must have. Ooh, and Rogers is leaning on him.
No mercy from both of these guys. They're battling intense up here. I don't think this is over. 7th place, I think Young's got to get 2nd, first?
Oh, Rogers really missed that corner right there. As they come up on the lap car of Tringali, Evans will take 7th place. Fitzwater and Ellison. Ellison out of nowhere. I'm not sure where he came from, if he was just sitting in the top 10 the whole time and we didn't notice, but he is going to take 3rd, or 4th place away, rather, from Fitzy. Logan York in 3rd. Cage 2nd, Carrillo 1st, and man, Vince, you see this? The top 4 right now are all Jerky Pro Truck Series drivers.
Something about that. Well, you know what? They're used to the bigger draft. The Digital Storm Cup Series with the physics. It's not with the draft. So I guess these guys know the draft well.
Even Henry Sanford running in 6th.
Fitzy surrounded.
Man. Carter Friesen's top 10 too. Oh, Gardner's going to get held up by Tringali. Friesen's looking to his right side. Oh, this is going to get a little clustery.
That's going to help DJ. DJ's there.
Oh, they are almost going to go 4 wide there for a second. That was looking pretty crazy. Kurtis, though, gaining positions out of that. Eyeing away to the top 10.
What does DJ need to win this championship, or does he need more? Well, he's got to get ahead of Evans, though.
Kurtis must... If Evans doesn't win, Kurtis can give up 4 points. But Kurtis must gain 16 points on Dillon Young.
That's the problem.
Which at the line, with where Kurtis was running at 13th, he needed Dillon Young to be running in last.
We know that won't be the case. Tringali's a lap down.
Kurtis down to 5th gear. I believe Kurtis is in the top 10, though, because he passed Samet Oskin. He passed Johnny Gardner. And he's got the freshest tires right behind Zach Flickinger. There's Zach Rogers. He's gotten by Fitzwater now. 5 laps to go at the start-finish line. Rob Evans up to 6th. Where's Dillon Young? 24th still. And the highest Dillon Young will get on track is 19th. If Dillon Young finished 19th, he would need Evans to finish no better than 6th. Which is where Evans, that's where Evans is right now, but I still think this man took 2 tires. I might be wrong. But this is insane. Rogers has the freshest tires on the track.
Where do you look right now? Like, there's Kurtis. Oh, Kurtis lost position.
Kurtis was 10th at the line. Remember, Kurtis only has to give up 2 positions in the top 10. So if Evans finished 6th, Kurtis could finish 8th and still win the championship on a tiebreaker.
He's starting to lose ground. I don't think it's going to be enough right now. He needs to make some type of crazy lunge down the stretch.
4 laps to go. Kurtis is going to fall all the way back down to, I believe, 13th.
Rogers is all over Evans.
And Rogers looking for 6th place. Haven't even talked about the battle for the lead. It's just Carrillo and Cage right now, 1-2. Ellison and Henry Sanford are trying to close the gap. But Evans will fall down to 7th. Zach Rogers, you can see a little bit of extra grip compared to Logan York. It's that 1 lap later pit strategy.
Looking at this, I think Zachary Fitzwater passing Rob Evans and Young staying 24th. That could be the championship right there. That could be it.
Evans 7th now. Dillon Young would need to finish 22nd. If Evans falls to 8th, he would need to finish 24th. But Evans is going to pass Logan York for position.
It's getting intense. 3 to go.
3 to go, and Dillon Young is down to 26th. Oh, and he is in a hornet's nest because of Nico Tringali door banging with Nate Rogers. And Tringali really hurt Dillon Young. Lap cars were not Dillon Young's friend. He's in a streamline now. Oh, 24th is a long ways away. But a lot can happen. But I'd say right now, the focus is on Evans in 6th. Zach Rogers is charging towards the front. He's up to 5th place behind Ellison and Henry Sanford, who are trying to whittle away the gap between them and Donovan Cage. Carrillo, I think, has this in the bag. He seems to have the better car, and even in draft, Donovan can do nothing. 2 laps to go at the start-finish line in the season. And looking at the gap, Vince, the highest Kurtis can get is 9th.
Where's Kurtis? He needs to be at least 11th.
If Kurtis can get to 9th and Evans falls to 7th, that would give him the title.
This is getting good, man. This is going to be incredible.
Kurtis right now is, I believe, 11th. Oskin and Quinton Moore, the front runners from Cape Cod, are the ones in front of him. You got to make your move in the right place if you're DJ Kurtis. As Evans is pulling away from Logan York and Fitzwater.
Is he too far ahead, though? Will that draft come into play on that last lap?
I think Evans is going to finish 6th. I think these two are falling back, racing side by side. White flag. White flag in the air for Rob Evans. Could he be the underdog story with Dillon Young having problems today?
Here's Kurtis. It's going to come down to Evans and Kerr, unless Dillon Young made some massive heroics. I don't think he did.
York and Fitzwater are way back. Zach Rogers is going to move up to 3rd. Cage closing in, looking for another shot at this win on Yael Carrillo.
Where's DJ? That's the question now for everyone.
Donovan Cage is inching forward. But I think Ford is looking at their 2nd win of the season. Cage going to run a little bit of a higher line. But I don't think he's going to have time. Yep, Carrillo's pulling. There's Zach Rogers. He'll come up short in 3rd, but Evans is in 6th. Kurtis in 10th, just not going to be enough. Where's Dillon Young? Dillon Young's showing in 27th. Carrillo's going to win. Evans is going to finish 6th. Kurtis 10th. It won't be enough. And Dillon Young won't be getting enough either. Your V8 Supercar Challenge champion is Rob Evans.
What a heartbreak for Dillon Young. Rob Evans out of nowhere, though. Pretty much played the starter the whole last 5 races of the season. Took it when he needed it most. Got to give credit to that clutch 18.
12 races. Consistency and top 10 finishes mattered the most. And for Rob Evans, 5 top 5s, 8 top 10s was the difference over Dillon Young. And Dillon, 5 top 5s, 7 top 10s on the season. Kurtis will end with a win, 3 top 5s, and 7 top 10s as well. So the 3 most consistent drivers in the field. Carrillo gets the win. Donovan Cage second. Zach Rogers third. Ellison fourth. Henry Sanford fifth. Evans sixth. Fitzwater seventh. Logan York eighth. Quinton Moore ninth. And Kurtis rounds out the top 10. But I got to give props to Kurtis on the strategy call of staying out a lap. It really helped his chances.
Had to do what he had to do. It's a good move on his team. I thought Evans with 2 tires we saw at the beginning of the run would fall back, but he stayed with that draft. That draft probably proved critical.
And Dillon Young, 26. Tringali just ended up being in his way the most. But with where Evans finished, all Dillon Young had to do was get up to 20th. But that's the way it goes sometimes. Dillon Young, though, definitely impressed us this season, as did Evans. I mean, DJ Kurtis, if Kurtis decides to come back and run Cup again, I think he'd be in a pretty good spot himself. But
yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so we've just got the one wreck with Tringali to look at, and that is it. So let's go take a look at that. Looking at the lone incident of the race involving Nico Tringali, it was him racing with Deanna Jones, right behind DJ Kurtis, right in front of Dillon Young. These guys were drifting through here all day. All right,
Young's
there,
going to be at the bottom. Yep.
Deanna Jones gets in the Tringali, and that turns Tringali right there. And oh, Young did get a piece of this, so not sure if that gave Young any aero damage, but Tringali really hit the wall hard with the passenger side. And, yeah, that took Tringali out of contention for anything today. But that is it for the season here. These races were recorded in advance, so they will be out. This will be out, I think, after the Crown Royal 300 goes up. But that is my next thing to record. So yeah, a little out of order commentary thing there, but Rob Evans is your champion.
That's the Rob.
And in the chronological order of events of videos going up on YouTube, me and Vince will see you guys next for the preview shows for the 2021 Jerky Pro Truck Series and Digital Storm Cup Series seasons, where we run down statistical histories of drivers, and we give off some predictions. So, yep, that is the next time you'll see us. I believe this race is going up sometime in January. So those preview videos should be out in 2 weeks or so. But, yep, that's it from me and Vince, and we'll see you then.